You've probably heard it your whole life. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. And fruit is nature's candy. You fill your cart with healthy snacks, diet drinks, and low-fat everything, thinking you're making all the right moves for your body and mind. But what if I told you that for those of us over 60, some of these so-called healthy foods could be quietly working against your cognitive health? What if the very things you're choosing to stay sharp are actually contributing to that frustrating brain fog, those senior moments, and could even be increasing your risk for memory loss down the road? It's a scary thought. You're trying to do everything right, but you still feel your focus slipping. It is not your fault. There's a hidden threat lurking in our food supply, disguised by clever marketing and decades of well-meaning but outdated advice. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going to expose 7 surprising healthy foods that science now suggests could be putting stress on your brain after 60. More importantly, we'll show you what to choose instead to help you reclaim your mental clarity and protect your precious memories. And the first one, it's probably in your refrigerator right now. Let's start with that classic healthy breakfast choice. A tall glass of 100% orange or apple juice. For years, it's been sold to us as the perfect way to start the day. But here's the tough truth. When it comes to your brain, that glass of juice might be doing more harm than good. See, when you juice a fruit, you strip away one of its most important parts, the fiber. What you're left with is basically sugar water. A single glass of fruit juice can pack as much sugar as a can of soda, and all that sugar hits your bloodstream like a tidal wave. This quick spike in blood sugar and the crash that follows is what can lead to that feeling of mental fog and tiredness just a couple of hours later. Over time, this cycle can contribute to chronic inflammation and insulin resistance, 2 of the key factors linked to cognitive decline. While some studies suggest moderate juice intake might be part of a healthy diet that lowers dementia risk, this is often in the context of a diet already rich in antioxidants from many other sources. For most people, the high concentration of sugar in commercial juice poses a more immediate and consistent challenge to the brain's delicate structures, especially the hippocampus, which is vital for memory. The simple swap? Just eat the whole fruit. An orange with all its fiber lets your body absorb the natural sugars slowly, preventing those sharp blood sugar spikes. You get all the vitamins and the great taste, but with the fiber that helps protect your brain and body. If you want a hydrating morning drink, try water with a squeeze of fresh lemon or a few muddled berries. All right, so you've ditched the sugary juice. What do you reach for next? For millions, the answer is a diet soda or an artificially sweetened drink. No sugar, no calories. It seems like the perfect trade. But this might be one of the biggest deceptions in the modern food industry. Emerging research is painting a pretty worrying picture. One large-scale observational study, for instance, found that people who regularly drank artificially sweetened beverages had a significantly higher risk of developing stroke and dementia compared to those who didn't. Now, it's important to know this is an association, not proven cause and effect, and the science is still evolving. The suspected culprits are artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose. Scientists believe these chemicals might mess with the gut-brain axis. They can change the balance of the good bacteria in your gut, which sends signals directly to your brain, and this could potentially lead to neuroinflammation. Think about it. Your tongue tastes sweet, but your brain knows it didn't get any real energy, which can create a confusing and potentially harmful feedback loop. The healthy alternative is refreshingly simple. Sparkling water, it's your new best friend. Add a splash of lime, a few crushed mint leaves, or some frozen berries to give it some flavor. Unsweetened iced tea and herbal teas are also fantastic choices, packed with brain-benefiting antioxidants. You're busy, you're on the move, and you grab a granola bar, a protein bar, or one of those healthy breakfast bars. They're often pumped up with vitamins and sold as the perfect fuel for a busy life. But have you ever stopped to really look at that ingredient list? Most of these bars are classic ultra-processed foods. They're made in a factory with a long list of things you wouldn't have in your own kitchen, like emulsifiers, preservatives, and high fructose corn syrup. They are designed for a super long shelf life and to be incredibly tasty, not for your cognitive health. Recent studies have found a strong link between eating a lot of ultra-processed foods and a higher risk of cognitive decline and stroke. One major study showed that people who ate the most of these foods had a 28% faster rate of cognitive decline. These foods tend to promote chronic inflammation all over the body, including in the brain. They can damage the blood vessels that your brain desperately needs to get oxygen and nutrients. So what's the swap? A small handful of raw nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds are incredible choices, full of healthy fats and vitamin E that support brain function. A whole apple with a spoonful of natural almond butter is another great option, giving you fiber, healthy fat, and protein. If you really want a bar, be a detective and look for ones with a very short, simple ingredient list, like dates, nuts, and a pinch of salt. For a quick lunch, a sandwich with some lean turkey or chicken slices seems like a no-brainer. It's high in protein, low in fat. What could be wrong? Well, this is another healthy food myth that needs a second look, especially for our brains. The problem isn't the meat itself, but how it's processed to become deli meat. To keep them preserved and give them that familiar color and taste, manufacturers often use nitrates and a whole lot of sodium. While some small studies have raised concerns about nitrates and brain health, the biggest and most well-established issue is the sodium. All that salt can lead to high blood pressure, which is a major risk factor for both vascular dementia and Alzheimer's disease. A good rule of thumb is, what's bad for your heart is very bad for your brain. The smarter choice for your sandwich? Use freshly cooked chicken or turkey breast that you've roasted or baked at home. That way you control all the ingredients, especially the salt, and you skip the nitrates. Other fantastic brain-healthy fillings are mashed avocado, hummus, or even a simple mix of greens and tomato. Canned salmon or tuna are also excellent protein-rich alternatives. Are any of these foods a surprise to you? If this information is making you rethink what's in your kitchen and you're finding it valuable, please take a second to hit that like button. And make sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss our future videos on living a sharper, healthier life after 60. Drop a comment below and let us know which of these foods you're clearing out of your pantry first. Now, let's get to number 5. So many breakfast cereals, even the ones that aren't covered in sugar frosting, are really just refined carbs in a box. They get marketed as low fat or a good source of fiber, but many are highly processed and have a high glycemic index. This means they act a lot like that fruit juice we talked about, causing a fast spike in your blood sugar and then a crash that leaves you feeling drained and unfocused. That blood sugar roller coaster is not a friend to your long-term brain health. Diets high in refined flour and low in fiber have been associated with a higher risk for mental fogginess and, over time, may increase the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. The processing strips away most of the nutrients and fiber that would normally slow down digestion and support your brain. Just think about the texture. They often turn to mush in milk almost instantly. And that's a huge clue that it's a highly refined product your body will turn into sugar in a flash. A much better way to start your day is with a bowl of oatmeal made from whole rolled oats. Oats give you slow release energy that keeps your blood sugar steady and your mind sharp all morning. Top it with a handful of berries for antioxidants, some walnuts for omega-3s, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Greek yogurt with some fruit and nuts is another fantastic protein-packed choice. For decades, we were told to ditch butter and choose margarine to save our hearts. Many were advertised as cholesterol-free and seemed like the right thing to do. Unfortunately, while trying to avoid one problem, we created a much sneakier one for our brains: trans fats. Many older stick margarines were made using a process that creates these artificial trans fats, which are a disaster for your brain. They're strongly linked to inflammation and have been shown to be associated with a greater incidence of cognitive decline. They can actually damage the membranes of your neurons, making it harder for your brain cells to communicate with each other. Now, the good news is that regulations have forced most companies in the US and Europe to remove trans fats, but you should still be a savvy shopper. If you see partially hydrogenated oil on the ingredient list, that product contains trans fats, even if the label says 0G trans fat. It's a loophole, and those small amounts can add up. The solution is to use healthy, natural fats. Extra virgin olive oil should be your go-to for cooking and dressings. Avocados and avocado oil are also wonderful. And for your toast, a small amount of real grass-fed butter is a far better choice than a margarine with questionable ingredients. Nut butters or mashed avocado are also delicious brain-healthy spreads. Finally, let's talk about alcohol. That glass of red wine has a great reputation for being heart-healthy thanks to antioxidants like resveratrol. And while very light, infrequent consumption might fit into some healthy eating patterns like the MIND diet, it's a very slippery slope. For the aging brain, the negative effects can easily start to outweigh any potential benefits. The simple fact is that alcohol is a neurotoxin. As we get older, our ability to metabolize alcohol slows down, which makes our brains more vulnerable to its effects. Even moderate drinking can, over time, contribute to brain shrinkage and damage the communication pathways between neurons. This can make it harder to learn new things and form new memories. Long-term use is strongly associated with a higher risk of cognitive impairment and dementia. So this is what's important. Long-term use is strongly associated with a higher risk of cognitive impairment and dementia. That nightly glass of wine to unwind might be doing more to unravel your focus than you think. It can also mess with your sleep, and we know that deep restorative sleep is absolutely critical for your brain to clear out toxins like the amyloid plaques linked to Alzheimer's. So what's a better way to relax? Try building new rituals. A warm cup of chamomile or lavender tea can be incredibly calming. Gentle stretching, meditation, or just listening to your favorite music can help you de-stress without the neurotoxic side effects. If you do choose to have a drink, be incredibly mindful of how much and how often, treating it like a rare treat, not a daily routine. Taking charge of your brain health after 60 might seem like a huge project, but it doesn't have to be. As we've talked about today, it's not about depriving yourself. It's about making smart, informed swaps. It's about recognizing that many foods sold as healthy, from fruit juice and diet soda to granola bars and deli meats, are often ultra-processed products packed with the very things that can fuel inflammation and cognitive decline. By choosing whole, minimally processed foods, you take a powerful step in protecting your brain. Think about eating patterns like the Mind or Mediterranean diet, which are all about leafy greens, berries, nuts, whole grains, fish, and healthy fats like olive oil. Following this style of eating has been scientifically shown to help slow cognitive decline and reduce the risk of Alzheimer's. You have the power to build a stronger, healthier brain, one meal at a time. Just start by swapping out one of the foods we talked about today for its healthier alternative. Your brain will thank you for it, not just tomorrow, but for all the years to come. Thanks for watching, and here's to your sharpest, healthiest self.